This is Garrett Thacker, and after the release of the first Omen, I've been thinking about the Omen franchise. So since I've been thinking about it, I thought we could take a look back at it, and find out how it became a franchise in the first place. The Omen is a religious horror film, released in June 1976, and was the sixth highest grossing film of that year, making $60.9 million on a budget of $2.8 million. The Omen was directed by Richard Donner, who also directed Superman the movie. Bet you didn't see that coming. The screenplay would be written by Richard Donner and David Seltzler, and would star Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, David Warner, and Harvey Spencer Stevens, just to name a few. On its initial release, the film received mixed reviews, but nowadays it's got a much more reasonable response. After the success of The Omen, 20th Century Fox was, of course, wanting to make a sequel, and a sequel would be put quickly into production. Damien the Omen II would release June 1978. It would be directed by Don Taylor. Screenplay would be written by Mike Hodges and Stanley Mann. Just saying, that's a great name. Stanley Mann. I love that so much. The film would star Jonathan Scott Taylor and Lee Grant, just to name a few. And as you probably expected, it got negative reviews, but would still be a box office success, making $26.5 million on a budget of $6.8 million. A third Omen movie would soon be put into production. It would release March 1981. Omen III The Final Conflict would make $20.5 million on a budget of $6 million. And as you guessed it, negative reviews. This movie would also put the Omen franchise on ice for 10 years. The film would be directed by Garnham Baker and screenplay by Andrew Birkin. The film would star Sam Neill, yes, that Sam Neill, 12 years before Jurassic Park, Harvey Bennard, Rosanna Barassi, and Lisa Harrow, just to name a few. Omen IV The Awakening was released May 1991, and would be the first Omen movie released on television and home video. The film would be directed by George Montesi and Dominique Antonin Garad. The screenplay would be written by Harvey Bernard, Brian Turget, starring Asa Barrera, Faye Grant, Anne Hearn, and Michael Lerner, just to name a few. In 2006, we would get a remake of The Omen, released on June 6, 2006. And the big marketing push was that it was going to be released on the 6th month of the 6th day of 2006. Which is very clever. I do love when movies do that. The film would be a box office success, despite being fairly mixed critically, making $120 million on a budget of $25 million. The film would be directed by John Moore. The screenplay written by Dan McDermott. The film would star Julia Stiles, Liev Schreiber, Mia Farrow, and Stephen Davey Fitzpatrick, just to name a few. The Omen franchise would remain dormant for another 18 years, until April 2024, when a prequel to The Omen was released, titled The First Omen. The film was directed by Arkasha Stevenson, with screenplay by Arkasha Stevenson, Keith Thomas, and Tim Smith. The film would star Neil Tiger Free, Sonia Sylvia, Ralph Ensign, and Bill Nye. Yes, that Bill Nye. The film, so far, has gotten great reviews, and so far it's made $50.2 million, on a budget of $30 million. But something's been pretty obvious about this video, so that you definitely noticed. The Omen franchise was never supposed to happen. Now, you already probably thought that, but it's not just that The Omen is a great standalone movie. It's by that The Omen having sequels, and just being a franchise in general, kinda tarnishes the ending of the original Omen. The thing that makes The Omen's ending so good and honestly pretty scary is with Damien being alive, you're not sure what's gonna happen next in this world. Will Damien succeed and cause terror across the whole world? Or will eventually be stopped? Not knowing what happens, but knowing what could happen is really scary. That's what makes The Omen one of the scariest endings to a movie in my opinion. So having sequels, making The Omen a franchise, takes away that fear factor. Because you know, the story does continue, and you can see how it continues. So you're not left wondering what happens next when you know, okay, this happens next. And that in itself wouldn't be a bad thing if the sequels were good movies. But they're not. So The Omen was a franchise that was never supposed to happen. Beloved Gods Flow, what do you think about the Omen franchise? Do you agree with me that The Omen should never been a franchise? Or do you think it should have been, but they kind of fumbled the bag? I think that's why the first Omen works so well. It's a prequel, so it doesn't take away anything from the ending of The Omen. Bye guys for now, bye guys, Thacker.